Hello, everyone. I am Founding Father Benjamin Franklin, and welcome to the Step Up America Foundation podcast. Join us every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we celebrate incredible Americans from all walks of life. You may hear from a NASA astronaut, a professional or amateur athlete, a musician, and of course, current and past military heroes, just to name a few. And who knows, you might even learn a thing or two along the way. Well, that's enough for me. Let me introduce you to our hosts, John McIntosh, Mark Renahan, and Adrian Garcia. Take it away, team!
And welcome back to another edition of the Step Up America podcast / Facebook Live show. I'm your host, John McIntosh, and I am always blessed to have the voice of Benjamin Franklin sitting to my right-hand side, Mr. Mark Renahan. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. It's been a bit since I've had you next to me. We've both been out doing stuff, so it's good to be back.
Well, it's a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a good thing because we're out teaching kiddos, which is
my favorite.
Our mission. So we also have Adrian Garcia, one of our facilitators, and the engagement coordinator for the Step Up America Foundation in the studio. How are you, sir?
Doing great, John, and very grateful that you are back into the studio.
Wow.
Yeah, shot at me, Garcia?
No, of course not.
Hey, you
I love
missed
all
me.
of you.
Yeah, no. And the one and only engineer behind the scenes. How are you, Noah?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. So, without any further ado, we have a very, very special show today, and I am going to introduce one of our two very special guests, and that is the former 12th Sergeant Major of the Army, Mr. Jack Tilley, who also happens to be the chairman of the board for the Step Up America Foundation. How are you, sir?
Hoorah! Great. I'm better every day. As long as I'm talking to Ben and Mark and Adrian and you, John, I'm just pumped up, especially.
I can see that.
It's Veterans Day.
You must have.
I'm just rattling.
No, you must have went out and played 18 today.
No, it's raining over here. But I'm
Yeah,
just back at Veterans Day, and I get to talk to you guys, so I'm pumped up.
Awesome. And we also have another very special guest, a cornerstone on Thursdays. Who wants to do the honors of introducing this fine gentleman?
Of course, our second guest is Sergeant Major Johnny Myers. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Cool.
And
there you go.
I just want to step in real quick. This is Mark Ben Franklin, and say a big thank you to all of the veterans out there, but especially Mr. McIntosh to my left, a former Air Force captain, and Ginny, who is at home, a former Navy gal. I believe she was petty officer. I'll ask her. She'll kill me. But anyway, I want to thank all you guys and to you gentlemen on the phone. I want to say thank you. And, of course, we cannot leave out our Pinnacle 5 board members, Sergeant Major Tilley's counterparts, of course, the 14th retired Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Al McMichael, the 9th retired Master Chief Petty Officer of the Navy, Jim Mahert, and the 13th retired Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Jim Finch, and the retired 8th Master Chief Petty Officer of the Coast Guard, of course, Dr. Vince Padden. And we also got to say a big shout-out to our former guest on the show and Chief Master Sergeant, the first senior enlisted advisor to the United States Space Force, Roger Toberman, was a guest on our show. So happy Veterans Day to all you guys, especially our board members, but to everyone out there, thank you so much. And we got applause here. We got applause here.
So you got a big crowd over there. I tell you what,
we do.
Move back and sit down or something.
Sergeant Major, when we were talking earlier, Sergeant Major Myers, we didn't get a chance right before you logged in. We were discussing that today is a big day for obviously it's Veterans Day, but the United States Army opened up its brand new museum, the National Museum of the U.S. Army. You can check them out at www.THENMUSA. It's basically the National Museum of the U.S. Army, abbreviated.org. It is an incredible museum located right outside of Washington, D.C. It's got a million different events, things to do. You can check out their website and get all their information. But Sergeant Major, I know you had a little bit to viewing of the new museum. I just was curious if you wanted to give us your opinion of it.
Well, I've been there before, but before I even talk about that, Sergeant Major Myers, he was worked with me in the Pentagon as Sergeant Major Army. I used to tell everybody I was a sergeant major in the Army, but the guy that really was a sergeant major in the Army was Sergeant Major Johnny Myers. So, he's a top non-commissioned officer. I'm just proud to be on the air with him anytime on the air.
I have zero problem
ahead.
believing that Sergeant Major Myers was actually the force behind your SMA campaign. But I'm just,
I'll tell you what, he in fact, all the guys that we work with, he took me off the cliff a couple times because I was ready to jump into a bunch of stuff. But he was a great sounding board, a good friend, a great non-commissioned officer, just a truly asset to anybody that works with him. So I just have a lot of respect for him, and he's a veteran just like me. So he's a great guy.
He's a fantastic guy, but there is one problem that we do have to tell everybody. When you hear all these things about Sergeant Major Myers, please remember he is a Yankees fan. I don't want to ruin it, but he is a New York Yankees fan. So that's something we have to keep into the forefront.
Yeah, and
that's okay.
Yeah, no, and I can attest to that, SMA. Sergeant Myers has talked me off the clip several times, haven't you, Sergeant Major?
Well, one team, one fight.
Yeah. Man.
There you go. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say, continue about the museum. I know we were talking about that a little bit offline, and Mark just brought it up, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. They're having it. Everything's on the web now, so they're having the ceremony. They have the opening ceremony. So they have, of course, had the chief and General Sullivan and the chairman and the secretaries and all stuff. But they said a bunch of great stuff. But they said since the Army started, we've been around a long time. They've had like 30 million people, men and women, that served in the military. And I don't know. It was just I don't think if you ever have a chance. I've been there once and I walked around and looked at the Army Museum and all the artifacts and all the stuff they have. They really did a tremendous job. So I'm proud to see that happen. It's been trying to work on that for years, but I'm glad to see it's finally there. So I'm excited about it.
So, Sergeant Major Myers, have you had the opportunity to get up there yet?
I have not, but I intend to do that soon. One thing I would like to do before we get any further into the discussion today is provide a platform about the day, about Veterans Day, if you have a moment.
Absolutely. We would love that, Sergeant Major.
The floor is yours.
Okay. Again, for all those who are aware and those who are not, Veterans Day was originally known as Armistice Day and is a federal holiday in the United States observed annually on November 11th for honoring military veterans, that is, persons who have served in the United States Armed Forces and were discharged under conditions other than dishonorable. It coincides with other holidays, including Armistice Day and Remembrance Day, which is celebrated in other countries that mark the anniversary of the end of World War I. Major hostilities of World War I were formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, when the armistice with Germany went into effect. At the urging of major U.S. veterans organizations, Armistice Day was renamed Veterans Day in 1954. Veterans Day is distinct from Memorial Day, a U.S. public holiday in May. Veterans Day celebrates the service of all U.S. military veterans, while Memorial Day honors those who have died while in military service. Another military holiday that also occurs in May, Armed Forces Day, honors those currently serving in the U.S. military. Additionally, Women's Veterans Day is recognized by a growing number of U.S. states that specifically honors women who have served in the U.S. military. Because it is a federal holiday, some American workers and many students have Veterans Day off from work or school. When Veterans Day falls on a Saturday, then either Saturday or the preceding Friday may be designated as a holiday, Monday, or the preceding Friday may be designated as a holiday. Whereas it falls on a Sunday, it's typically observed on the following Monday. When it falls on the weekend, many private companies offer it as a floating holiday where employees can choose from the day. A Society for Human Resource Management poll in 2010 found that 21% of employers plan to observe the holiday in 2011. Non-essential federal government offices are closed. No mail is delivered. All federal workers are paid for the holiday. Those who are required to work on the holiday sometimes receive holiday pay for the day in addition to their wages. In his Armistice Day address to Congress, Wilson was sensitive to the psychological toll of the lean war years. Hunger does not breed reform. It breeds madness, he remarked. As Veterans Day and the birthday of the United States Marine Corps are only one day apart, that branch of the armed forces customarily observes both occasions as a 96-hour liberty period. Election Day is a regular working day, while Veterans Day, which typically falls the following week, is a federal holiday. The National Commission on Federal Election Reform called for the holidays to be merged so citizens can have a day off to vote. They state this as a way to honor voting by exercising democratic rights. While the holiday is commonly printed as Veterans Day or Veterans Day in calendars and advertisements, the United States Department of Veterans Affairs website states the attributive no apostrophe rather than the possessive case is the official spelling, because it is not a day that belongs to veterans. It is a day for honoring all veterans. Thank you.
You're always deep. And,
Well,
that's incredible. And gentlemen, I wanted to ask you something personal, and I'm just going to share a little story just real quick. I woke up this morning to a text from my daughter, who's 22 years old, and said, "Happy Veterans Day, Dad." And my response was, "Thank you, but no need to thank me because it was an honor." And I think that is how 99% of us feel. And how do you guys feel about that? What does Veterans Day mean to you all personally?
Well, veterans have their service and their sacrifice for this country. And not too many people know the kind of sacrifice veterans really make. And I just, for me, I was proud to serve. And the reason I like Veterans Day is because, I love being a veteran, but it always seemed like on Veterans Day, I get a lot of emails from people I served throughout my 36 years of service, just saying, hey, thank you for your service. Hope you're doing well. And so the military is a very small family of veterans that are very close, that means so much to me and really means so much or did so much for our country.
How about you, Sergeant Major Myers?
It means more to me each day. And when I reflect back upon the time I served, a lot of it, I was looking for the destination instead of enjoying the journey. And I often tell young folks now, enjoy the journey, because once you get to the destination, you've mixed the scenery. And one thing that I like to keep in mind, not to castigate those who have not served, but to remind those that less than 10% of the population are veterans, and less than 1% are in the active duty military. So what you have is a segment of the population which selflessly serves in defense of a nation, both against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, who may not agree with their views either way, but they serve nonetheless. And they put their lives on the line in countries which some people couldn't find on a map. And we've been doing this since 1776. Matter of fact, we've been doing it before the inception of this nation. So as I move into the twilight of my life, I start to appreciate each and every veteran who has served and took the oath to defend this nation. And yes, it is special. It's very special to serve those who may not appreciate at the particular moment in time, but you do. And you defend the nation selflessly against all adversaries.
Well said. As
Very
always.
good.
As always.
Well said.
As always.
No, that was unbelievable. So I do have a question for the two of you. I know Veterans Day, of course. To me, it means a lot. I'm a little selfish on that, just because I'm a huge veterans fan. Because without veterans in World War II, I don't think I'd be here right now. So I like to thank them all for that whenever I see them. And I was also the grandson of a Navy veteran. I think I've sent you guys the Iwo Jima diary, which is pretty cool. I sent it to everybody. If you haven't, let me know. But my question to you guys is, and I know I've asked this to you both before, but as it's Veterans Day, and we still are the Ben Franklin Project, and we like to go out and teach the students. I'll start with you, Sergeant Major Tilley. What would your advice be to a young person who says to you, "Hey, Sergeant Major, I'm thinking about joining the Army. Should I? Or what do you think? Or I want to join the Navy." Or what would your advice be to a young man or woman who want to join the service and become, like, again, and Sergeant Major Myers, you're correct. I often tell people that, active duty members of the military are the real 1% in this country. If you want to get down to it, they're the people who do that. So I do know that I have, friends with sons and daughters who have grown up who have come to me because they know the work that I do with veterans, and they always, what could I expect, and this and that. Sergeant Major Tilley, I'll start with you. What would your advice be to a young person thinking about joining the military?
Well, I was a young person when I went in. I was an old person when I got out. But I would say I went in the Army at 17 years old, and I had no earthly idea exactly, what was going to happen. I just sort of thought it was a way for me to go in, serve. I didn't even know there was a war going on when I went into service. But I would tell you there's a lot of people that helped me in my life, but the Army really had a tremendous effect on me. It really changed my life. And so I tell you, any successes I've had in life, either in the military or out of the military, is because of the United States Army. It was the best job I ever had, the best people I think I've ever worked with. It's just like I said before, it's a family. So I would say if anybody's thinking about going in the military, I think it's the best decision you could probably ever make, is to serve this country, serve this great nation. It's just a wonderful job. And the other thing is, and Sergeant Major Myers said it a minute ago, there's a very small percentage of people that serve. And unfortunately, because of that, there's not a whole lot of people who know a whole lot about the military. And so, again, I think going into service, especially going into the Army, is a great decision. Anything that you want to do, any idea of a job that I have, the United States Army, I have. So, it's the best decision of life I ever made, and I'd never change it.
Sergeant Major Myers, how about you? If a young student came to you and said, "Sergeant Major, I want to join the Army, or I want to join the service," do you have any advice for me? What would your advice be?
Yes, I have been in that position, worked in a MEPS for a few years and had quite a few young people, some in college, aspiring to have their college tuition paid off and to start their lives. And some of the best advice I could give them is the Army in particular, the Army in general, but the services in particular. You can't go wrong, because what you have done by raising your hand and taking the oath to serve your nation is creating a legacy for yourself, because we stand on the shoulders of giants. None of us in this country, even though we don't realize it and we don't think about it on a regular basis, it's in fact men and women of all races and creeds have not laid down their lives. Over 1 million men and women have laid down their lives since the inception of this nation to defend it. And if they had not, the language we speak, the cultures that we have, the diversity to perform within would not be ours to choose. And we need to understand that we have a lot of differences, but those differences are allowed because men and women who we do not know and we will never know have shed blood for us to do what we do today. Liberty is not free, and neither is freedom.
Mark, let me add just one more thing to what Sergeant Major Myers says. The other thing I think is really did a lot for me is, I grew up in the Army. I went from 17 to 55 in about 6 months joining the service. And the other thing I think is ironic is when you get, I got out and I had a break in the service for about 2 years or 2.5 years. And when I went back in fact, I went back to my hometown, and it was very shortly realized that how I changed and really how I looked at things and how I appreciated life more and all of other things. And so, again, going in the Army and doing those kind of things, just what Sergeant Major just said, it's just it's a wonderful life. And we haven't stood on the shoulders of a lot of people. And we got to continue to build that relationships with people all over the country. There's no question about that. But, again, I'm blessed to serve, and anybody that goes in the Army and comes out a better person. There's no question about it.
Well, Sergeant Major, it's funny that you bring that up because for those of you listening who might not know what we do here, besides our radio show, of course, our main mission is we educate our youth on U.S. history and civics through our Ben Franklin Project. But one of our major lessons is called being a good citizen, and that we like to during the lesson we tap on students and organizations and people who have proved to be good citizens. So we use examples like yourself, the both of you who gave your lives serving in the U.S. Army, and now that you're done, again, like we always say, you could go float on a beach all day, but you've chosen to come back and you work with foundations. Now I know, Sergeant Major, that both of you have done a lot of work with the American Freedom Foundation, which helps military families. Especially, it helps a lot of the guys getting out of the service get jobs. Sergeant Major Tilly, both of you actually. I just thought maybe you could touch a little bit on if anyone's out there listening, the absolute experience, awesomeness, whatever you want to get at, hiring a veteran, why it would benefit your company, and things like that. Because a lot of people don't realize. Especially in like a leadership position, if you led men in combat in war, I'm pretty sure you could handle an office. Probably not this office, but an average normal office that I'm not in. But I was just curious if you could touch base a little bit on some of the stuff you do and why it's beneficial for people to have veterans in their workforce and to hire veterans.
I'm going to let Sergeant Major Myers start out. I always like listening to what he says, so he'll probably give me some ideas. And so Sergeant Major Myers, you start out and I'll follow you.
Sure, not a problem. A veteran brings a significant level of understanding to the workforce. One thing that the SMA had mentioned is, in his own experience, leaving hometown USA and entering the military and then coming back after basic training, advanced individual training, and his first permanent duty location. And noticing the difference that those who were his contemporaries, in less than 6 months, how there was such a significant difference in how they viewed the world. What I also would like to talk about is the men and women who serve our nation go through a significant challenge and with post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. Okay, these individuals are no less than anyone else in our society. Matter of fact, they don't wish to be known as more than either. They come back as an individual who has served their country and wish to assimilate back into society. What we need to look at, society in general, all 330 million people in the United States of America, is that these are people with disabilities, not disabled people. These individuals can function in any capacity that they're allowed to function within. And we need to stop putting these walls up that prevent our veterans from gaining fruitful employment in society and helping themselves, their families, and as importantly, society in general.
Yeah, I'll just add to what Sergeant Major said. I wrote down a couple of things. They're loyal to an end. When you get a veteran who's loyal, he's committed to the job. the leadership he has, that he can raise the level of proficiency or organizational structure within your organization probably 3 or 4 times better than what it currently is. The mentorship and the development he'll share with those employees, the dedication, and for most veterans, when they get a job, it's just not a job. It's a commitment that they make to that employer, and they're very loyal to the job. So, and the other thing that years ago we talked about the education level of soldiers or service members. Now when you get a guy that's coming out of the service, they got either a bachelor's or a master's degree, whether or not they're enlisted. Or officers always are going to have those kinds of education, but now your enlisted force has a tremendous amount of education coming out of the service. So they can do things that probably most people wouldn't believe they could do. So they're committed to do the best that they can. That's for sure.
No, that's incredible information from both of you. And Mark had mentioned, our main goal here is to educate our youth on in becoming engaged U.S. citizens, and we do that through the Franklin Project, teaching U.S. history and civics. But we also, on our podcasts, have celebrated veterans and just good American people. That's what our podcast is all about. And we've had the U.S. Navy on. We've had Lonnie Bedwell, the first veteran blind man to kayak the Grand Canyon, Admiral Lynch from New Day USA, WWE superstar Lacey Evans, and I'm missing a gazillion of them.
You want me to help?
No, because we don't have all day.
Okay,
The list is entirely too long. But the one thing that they all seem to agree with is that they were all super proud to be bigger than, to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And I think that translates into corporate America, into just society, and being a good citizen. It's incredible. And I think that's for me, that was the one big thing that I learned while serving. And, just being able to realize you're just one little cog in that wheel that makes this whole thing turn. And
John, I want to say something real quick. The really funny thing about it is wherever you meet someone in the military, and you may not see them for 20 years, and they reach out to you and say, "I need help." It's like you talked to them yesterday. It's a family that stays together for the rest of their life, and that's another reason I love serving in the military. I have. The Army was, while I was on active duty, it was 1.3 million people that are connected to me in some way, or I'm connected to them in some way. So it's about the family. It's about commitment. It's about taking care of each other. That's for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, and I like to always say that to people, like I'd always want a veteran living next door to me. That's the type of person that you want in your community and in your neighborhood, because you know that they've already, been selfless enough to give up everything for their life. But I wanted to switch real briefly. Sergeant Major Myers and Sergeant Major Tilley, I have something to tell you that's going to be shocking about McIntosh. That I want to
God!
bring out to the attention of all of you, because I just want to know that I just have to bring this up. So I hope you can all see our lovely new blue shirts that we have here.
Yeah, I know where this
from
is
the
going.
Step Up America Foundation. And I again want to point out to everyone who may be listening that again we have a program called the Ben Franklin Project, and actually we have Frederick Douglass is going to be joining Ben soon, but we'll get to that. But anyway, in our program, we have 16 different lessons. They touch, as John has stated, on U.S. history and civics. For example, the Constitutional Convention and the Bill of Rights. But personally, amongst John, myself, and Adrian, who are the three people in the classroom, our favorite lesson is, of course, the good citizenship lesson, in which we teach young children, usually it's the kindergarten, first and second graders, how to be good citizens. And we have a little game we play where we raise our hand. Ben Franklin raises his hand if we're a good citizen. So I thought we would play real quick with me, John, and Adrian right now and have a good citizenship game. So here's the question. Ready? I've lost my work shirt. Instead of looking for it, I stole my partner from the radio show's shirt and took off with it, thinking he would not notice that the shirt hanging in his office had disappeared. Is that being a good citizen? Yes or no?
The answer is no. Now, I would.
Just making sure.
I
wanted to throw that out there so that everyone could know.
John did that. That's hard to believe.
Not only did he do it.
There's a caveat.
No, there's not. There's none.
No, there is. I wrongly assumed it was mine. As soon as I realized I was wrong, the shirt got immediately returned with an apology, period.
No, let me rephrase what happened. I called you at 7:15 in the morning from the office, and I said, "Where is my shirt?" And then you got a little fumbled over you, and I said, "You stole my shirt."
No, because I thought it was mine until I looked at.
You thought it was your shirt hanging on a coat hanger in my office?
Mark's too loud. There's no sense in arguing with him.
Look at him turning
right.
Terrible. He's terrible at lying, by the way. I just wanted to point that out, that the Captain McIntosh, who leads the good citizenship game, stole my shirt. But he did apologize and return it, so I guess I'll let it slide. But just for the record, for all of you guys, don't try the shady shit with me. You try it with other people. Ooh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, way to go. All right, so let's play a good citizenship game.
I'm sure the
is
Sergeant
cussing
Major,
on the air a good citizen or
I'm
a
sure
bad
the
citizen?
Sergeant Major had never heard
It's a family show.
Oh, it's all right.
Anyway,
oh man.
back to it. So, gentlemen, again, thank you for your service, and I want to, just from the Step Up America Foundation, our board of directors, the entire team here. If you're a veteran out there, thank you, and enjoy the day. You deserve it. Celebrate, call a long-lost friend you haven't seen in a while, and have a bunch of fun. So there's a shout-out to the veterans, because that's what this show is all about today.
Absolutely. It is an incredible day today. And like John said, for all you veterans out there, have a day today. Have some fun. Sergeant Major, both of you guys have anything planned for tonight? I know during the pandemic, actually, it's probably not a ton you can do, but, anything planning?
Yeah, any Veterans Day events?
Yeah, no, just stay in the house and don't get wet.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, unfortunately, gentlemen, I do have something planned, and that is to subject you two fine gentlemen to a game of trivia.
We can't end the show without a trivia contest. So,
I always talk them.
I decided that, I always, whenever we have a guest on, and I try to make the trivia, towards them. So, they're whatever. So we did today is going to be trivia on war movies, on military movies. I haven't made it too difficult. So, and I know that Sergeant Major Myers, who is pretty decent with the trivia, I'm going to say he does well every time. Even in the background when he's not playing, he comes in.
Yeah, he does.
It's only 5 questions. Here you go. Are you gentlemen ready?
Well, let Sergeant Major Myers go first. Maybe I'll get a chance to get the right question.
This is a question to the both of you. You can answer as a team. Like, we'll think of it as like Trivial Pursuit.
Oh,
so
answer as a team. That's perfect. Okay.
As good veterans would always work with teamwork,
right.
we will let you guys both do teamwork.
Absolutely. I'm there for it.
And gentlemen, there's no pressure, but we've only given away one trophy for all perfect answers, and that went to Chief Toberman.
Yes,
and
from the Space Force. So the Space Force, the newest of the branches, is now in the lead for trivia. So anyway, here we go. Question number 1. Oliver Stone's film, Born on the 4th of July, was an adaptation of Ron Kovic's novel. Who played Kovic in the movie? Gentlemen?
Wow, you're throwing some hard darts there.
I wouldn't have known that.
Hey,
who is the star of Born on the 4th of July? Come on, think hard. You'll get it.
Yeah, hold on.
Who was it?
Oh my goodness, he has a daughter.
Scientology. There's a hint. Scientology.
Oh.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
I just watched him. Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. There you go.
Ding, ding.
And that was
no, Tom Cruise. I had it was on the tip of my tongue. I knew it was Tom Cruise.
That was supposed to be the easy one, so you guys are in trouble. Here's number 2. What famous real-life Marine Corps drill instructor played a Marine Corps drill instructor in Full Metal Jacket?
It's a hard one.
Oh my goodness.
I met him up at AUSA.
I was going to say, there's no way one of you guys haven't met him.
Is a gun?
I met him.
Gunny. Is Gunny?
I know he's a guy.
Gunny
I can't
Gunny-
say his name. I
So-
met him a couple times. He used to sell weapons up at AUSA. I worked for weapons company or something. I don't remember his name.
It's Gunnery Sergeant
Okay.
R. Lee.
Yeah, Emery.
All right,
Ari-
we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you.
We'll give it to you.
Emery.
Did you
All
get
right.
it? Oh, you got it?
Ari-
Yeah, okay.
Ari Emery, yeah.
All right, here is number 3. Number 3.
Is this an easy question?
Yeah, all right.
All right, actually, number 4 is easier than 3, so I'll give you number 4. Who played the legendary General George Patton in the movie about him?
You know, you asking these questions, and I know who you're talking about. Oh my goodness, George C. Scott.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll tell you all a little secret. Every Veterans Day, Mr. Renahan here, myself, watches Patton every night at 8 o'clock. I plan on doing it tonight, so I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, right.
That is my Veterans Day little thing I do every year is I watch Patton, one of my top 5 favorite movies. Anyway, next question. Charlie Sheen, who is the star of the Vietnam movie Platoon, is not actually his real name. He has a real name of his brother, who was also an actor, who was the star of The Mighty Ducks. What is his name?
You do realize that's not a military question, right?
Well, Platoon.
Oh,
Platoon.
yeah.
He was, Charlie Sheen was the star of Platoon, who's his brother.
Okay, that's like 20 degrees of separation.
I've been writing these trivia questions for so long; they're getting difficult. So.
Yeah, Estevez. Carlos
Yes,
Estevez.
you got it right. Emilio Estevez. He got it
Emilio,
right.
yeah. Excellent.
right.
All right, so this is for the win.
This is
One-
the
Yeah, I was
last
Googling
question.
that. I was trying to find a real name.
Oh, so
Okay,
you're
but that's-
cheating.
that's
You're
just-
cheating.
All right, so this is
That's
the
the father's name.
this is the last one. So, this actor, and I guess this is another one, but this actor who played a Boston bartender for the majority of his career also played a U.S. Army captain who met with Tom Hanks after the invasion of Normandy in the movie Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, it's a good
What
movie.
is that actor?
Think of Cheers.
He was
Think
the
of
bartender
Cheers.
from Cheers.
Okay, I know you're talking about. Oh my goodness.
Come on, this
Oh,
is
my
for the
goodness.
win.
Yeah, I got
3
you.
Men and
I
a
got
Baby. He was in.
you.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know,
Google
I know exactly who you're talking about. Ted Giant. Ted Giant.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
All right, so
Wow.
Uh,
By the way, Sergeant Major Tilly, you were not lying when you said that Johnny Myers is the star behind you. By the way, because he's doing it today.
Absolutely. I didn't know. I just did Google that and found Ted Dance's name on there. So
Just for the record, Sergeant Major, in future trivia questions, you're not supposed to Google answers while playing. That's considered cheating. But we'll let you go. It's Veterans Day, and you're the chairman, so that's all right.
all right, so here's the pressing question, gentlemen. We only have one trophy. Who do I ship it to?
Sergeant Major Myers. I know I didn't get anything right.
Well, Sergeant Major Myers, as always, you are the winning trivia gentleman. I know Sergeant Major Myers grew up the same time that we did, so he knows good TV and movies. So whenever I get the questions, I'm like, I know Sergeant Major Myers won't let me down with these. But gentlemen, on a serious note, I know we're coming to the end of the show here, but we like to have a little fun. But on a 100% serious note, to all you veterans out there, of course, our board of directors, but every single one of you who served, I don't care if you were a Navy SEAL to a cook or whatever, anyone who served, you were all part of a team that helps the United States of America. You've been keeping us free and safe for all these years. I thank you so much.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Whoa.
And Johnny, we're looking forward to tomorrow. You got a very special, meaningful, especially in this day and age. I'm not going to divulge what Sergeant Major's Corner is all about tomorrow, but it is more than fitting for the current environment we're sitting in. So we're looking forward to that, along with a very special guest at 2:30 tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And Adrian, if somebody wanted to, because we are filling up fast, our
Yes, we
classrooms are getting booked left and right here. If an educator wanted to get in touch with us and have Ben Franklin come into their classroom and teach civics and U.S. history based on current state teaching standards.
It's a mouthful, I know.
Yeah. How can they go about doing that?
So for all educators out there that may be listening or watching, please visit our website, stepupamericaprogram.org. We have a contact us form there, or you can just email us directly at info@stepupamericaprogram.org. John wasn't lying when he said that we are filling up fast. We have a school tomorrow, for example, so please get your schedulings in.
And from what I hear, tomorrow's a good citizenship class, so I wonder.
No,
here's
it's
the
actually
thing.
not. It's
not?
Constitutional Convention.
Oh, it's my favorite one, the
Yeah.
Constitutional
I thought it was good
Convention.
citizenship.
Right.
Right. It's kind of shady that suddenly the Constitutional Convention replaces good citizenship.
Let's just never mind. I'm not going to even go down
Yeah,
there.
no.
So, I'm the good one.
The
So-
20th is good citizenship. The 20th.
All right, excellent. So,
I'm the good one. Cut it out. All right. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, we had the retired 12th Sergeant Major of the Army, Jack Tilley, and his secret behind his success, retired Sergeant Major Johnny Myers, both of the United States Army. Don't forget, everybody, today the U.S. Army opened up its brand new museum, the National Museum of the U.S. Army, located up in D.C. Check out their website. It is www.thenmusa, basically it's just abbreviated, .org. They have all sorts of cool events. I think it'll get better and better, of course, once the things hopefully get back to normal and we can go up there in person and all check it out. Maybe we'll go up there someday and do a little live show, and
Ooh, that would be fun.
if only we knew somebody from the
live
Army
stream.
who
Yeah, I
might
don't
be
know.
able to get us in there. If only. But gentlemen, thank you both so much. Thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for putting up with me and helping us all here at Step Up America Foundation. We can't thank you enough for it. All you vets out there, have a great day. John, Adrian, no, anything you want to add?
Just thank you to you two gentlemen. Thank you for your service, and thank you to all veterans out there for your service as well.
gentlemen, any parting words before we close
Ben
this out?
takes it away.
Me. I didn't get to say
Yeah,
anything.
go ahead, go ahead, Noah, go ahead and say something.
You did a war movie trivia thing, and you didn't mention To Hell and Back in any capacity.
No, I didn't know that. Noah, I'll start testing with you with the trivia. So.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, any parting words other than hooah?
I just say God bless you for what you guys do each and every day to help our veterans and the family members.
Absolutely. Well, everybody who's tuning in, thank you so much. One last time, thank you all to you veterans out there. And you too, Mac. You're a veteran. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks,
As much as I ride you, I appreciate your service,
Yeah,
kid.
no problem.
Hey, listen, everybody. Remember the words of Ben Franklin for the rest of this week. Be kind to others, and you're being best to yourself. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow at 2:30. Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Happy
Hooah!
Veterans
Hooah. God bless.
Bye-bye, guys.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.